Have you ever caught yourself saying, oh, I'll definitely start tomorrow, or I'm finally going to get my life together next Monday? Because honestly, we all do it. We wait for this magical, perfect moment to make a huge change, but let's be real, that moment literally never arrives. So instead of waiting around, what if we could systematically reboot everything in just one single month? Today's explainer is all about the 30-day life reset plan. We are drawing on some incredibly powerful insights from our source material to show you exactly how to change your daily trajectory and really start building a better version of yourself.
So tell me, has your life just kind of hit the pause button? Do you ever feel totally stuck in a rut, waking up to the exact same regrets every single morning? You know what you need to do, right? Wake up a bit earlier, spend way less time mindlessly scrolling, actually focus on your work, but somehow you just keep putting it off. The harsh truth is this. If your next 30 days look exactly like your last 30, absolutely nothing in the next year is going to change either.
Okay, let's dive into this. Our source material highlights a massive trap we almost all fall into, the gap between the thinking mindset and the doing mindset. We spend so much energy endlessly overthinking our lives, right? We plan out these grand, flawless routines in our heads, but then we totally fail on the actual execution. Real change doesn't happen when we just sit around thinking about it. It happens when we honestly accept our current reality and just start taking action. To make this completely achievable, we haven't just thrown together a chaotic list of habits. Instead, we've organized this explainer into a cohesive three-phase transformation journey. Phase 1 is the reality check. Phase 2 focuses on your daily systems. And finally, Phase 3 covers reflection and identity. All right, let's jump right in with Phase 1, the reality check, because you absolutely cannot reach your destination if you aren't completely honest about your starting point. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it breaks down habit number 1, which is all about understanding your current baseline. Grab a pen and honestly assess these 4 critical areas: health, skills, routine, and mindset. Are you actually getting enough sleep? Have you learned literally anything new in the last 30 days? Does your day follow a solid plan? Or are you just drifting along? Please, don't make excuses here. Nobody else is grading this. The goal isn't to make you feel bad at all. It's simply to give you a crystal clear map of exactly where you stand right now. Once you know where you stand, habit 2 is all about setting your 30-day goals. Notice how small and hyper-specific these targets are? We aren't trying to run a full marathon tomorrow. We are aiming for 7 hours of sleep, a brisk 20-minute walk, and just 30 minutes of learning. Setting massive, overwhelming targets is a guaranteed recipe for burnout. Small, highly achievable goals give your brain a clear, undeniable target for the next month. And this brings us right to habit 3. You might think you aren't succeeding because you just aren't working hard enough. But usually, the problem isn't a lack of effort, it's poor time allocation. Every single person on Earth gets the exact same 24 hours. So where are yours going? Are you opening up an app for just 10 minutes only to lose an entire hour? Do you overthink a task so much before starting that it silently drains your day? You've got to identify these silent time wasters. Once you recognize how you're spending your hours, you instantly take back your power. That sets us up perfectly for Phase 2, daily systems, where we shift from planning to actually executing small daily steps with habits 4 through 7. Habit 4 is the bedrock of execution. Start small. Look, trying to overhaul your entire life in 24 hours almost always leads to a huge crash and burn. You just get exhausted and then you quit. But hey, if you aren't used to working out, start with just a 10-minute walk. If you don't read at all, read just 5 pages. It sounds almost too easy, doesn't it? But that is the secret. Tiny starts are what actually stick and yield massive long-term results. And this brilliantly illustrates habit 5. Successful people rely on robust systems, not fleeting bursts of motivation. So instead of staring at an overwhelming to-do list, just use this simple rule of 3 system every single morning. Pick 1 task for your main goal, 1 task to improve a skill, and 1 task for your physical health. That is it. It completely cuts through the daily chaos, keeps you laser-focused, and ensures you make real, undeniable progress every single day. Of course, none of this works if we don't tackle habit 6, controlling your mobile phone. Our source rightly points out that phones are incredible tools, sure, but if left totally unchecked, they act as major time thieves that completely derail your focus. So here are the exact rules you need right now. First, turn off those useless notifications. Stop checking your phone the literal second you open your eyes in the morning. When you need to do deep work, physically place the phone completely out of reach. And finally, set a strict daily limit for social media. These boundaries are absolutely non-negotiable if you want your time back. Let's move to and see how this builds with habit 7, the 30-minute rule. Dedicating just a half-hour daily to learning something new, maybe that's a new language, some video editing, or even better communication skills, is the literal seed of transformation. Now, it might not feel like much on day one, but let's take a look at the math. Because that tiny daily habit compounds incredibly fast. By the end of just 1 month, you've accumulated a highly respectable 15 hours of dedicated learning. Think about that. That's 15 whole hours of skill building that you previously would have spent mindless scrolling or just putting things off. And if you keep it up, that turns into roughly 180 hours a year. This is a massive mathematical aha moment right here. The annual impact of consistent, small efforts is absolutely staggering. In a world where most people completely stop learning after they finish school, investing 180 hours a year into your own growth will absolutely separate you from the crowd. Which brings us right into our final stage, phase 3, reflection and identity. This is where we lock in the changes to maintain the system, covering habits 8 through 10. Habit 8 is your nightly review. If you want to move forward quickly, take literally 2 minutes every single night to ask yourself these 3 things. What did I do well? What could I improve? And what is tomorrow's single most important task? Doing this ensures you are constantly focused on actual progress and learning rather than just making excuses for why things didn't happen. So the crucial point is perfectly captured in habit 9, which introduces a major safeguard, the never miss twice rule. Over these next 30 days, things are not going to go perfectly. You will probably miss a workout, or you won't get around to your reading. Hey, that's life. Missing one single day does not ruin your progress. But failing to execute on the second consecutive day, that is where a slip turns into a total slide. Forgive yourself for a bad day, for sure, but bounce back immediately the very next day. True success is all about getting back up. And that brings us to habit 10, bringing our 30-day journey to its emotional peak. The ultimate reward of this entire reset isn't just checking off daily tasks or having a nicely organized calendar. No. The true reward is forging a brand new, totally unstoppable identity. As our source emphasizes, real success is becoming the person capable of achieving the goal. You become someone who doesn't make excuses, someone who takes small steps daily, and most importantly, someone who does not quit when things get hard. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with this final, provocative question. Think about it. 30 days from now, that time will have passed regardless of what you do. Will you be standing in the exact same place, waking up to the exact same routine, or will you be a completely new person? The right time to start is never tomorrow or next Monday. The absolute right time is right now. The choice is entirely in your hands. Let's get to work.